Oh look, it's Halloween, and oh boy, are we getting some treats instead of tricks today. There are two brand new trailers popping out for some popular Mascot horror games. Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 and Bendy the Cage. Let's dive into each trailer and see what we can find. My name's HulkingEnigma, and this is Well That's Horrifying. Welcome to Well That's Horrifying, the informational podcast on all things horror games. I hope you are excited about Mascot horror games because we got some great trailers to go through. Let's start with the Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 trailer. The trailer begins with a shot of a dark and abandoned hallway. This looks to be the same lab we entered in at the end of Poppy Playtime Chapter 4. In this hallway, we can see a few images of a couple of the mascots printed across the walls. We can also see some type of equipment at the far end of the hall, but its purpose is unknown. Next, we see a room that looks like it would have been used for medical purposes. We see some containers of some kind, and they probably held things like disinfectants, or maybe some things to help numb the pain. As well as we also see some type of machine. We next see a medical bed, and its surroundings look, well, rather bloody. Something unfortunate happened here. We can also see Huggy Wuggy's and or Kissy Missy's gloves lying on the floor and on the bed. It looks like this is probably where someone was patching up either him or even Kissy after his nasty fall and her just getting completely obliterated by the prototype. Next we see a shot of this strange goop-like substance on the floor and the shadow of the prototype moving in the background. We then cut to the final scene of the trailer, and it is of a Poppy cutout burning, surrounded by the goop-like substance. The only thing I can really think of this goopy stuff being is the mysterious gel that we learned about in Chapter 2, the one that was used to try to bring rats back to life. If it is this gel, that would make sense because at the end of Chapter 4, we saw a bunch of poppy flowers kind of leading up to the room we ended in. So they could be using those poppy flowers to make that gel and perform these really awful experiments. The scene then glitches out and the following words can be briefly seen. A needle pulls a thread. The body writhes on the table. Is this it? Is this life? Footsteps echo off of the manor floors. What do I do now? Where do I belong? The eyes glued to the screen. Transformation and rebirth. You think you would know what he wants. You don't know anything. Not yet. Then a giant 5 appears on the screen. And that's the trailer, and it is doing a good job of getting us excited about the upcoming game. I am excited to be exploring this new section of Poppy Playtime and really seeing the place where these experiments took place. We will probably also learn who exactly patched up Huggy and different things like that. I think we'll see even more dark experiments being played out here, or we'll learn about them via tapes. The final words on the screen are interesting. I think it could mean one of two things. Either a scientist watching one of the experiments come to life, or it's actually an experiment coming to life itself. And who they're talking about could be two different people. As the scientist, they could be talking about Elliot. And as the experiment, it could be talking about the prototype. And for some of you, they're one and the same, to be honest. But we'll have to see with this new chapter. And I also think this shows us the themes of the upcoming chapter. Transformation and rebirth. But tell me, what do you think? We were also given some new screenshots on the game page. The first one being of a banged up Huggy slowly walking towards the player. The next one being a shot of what looks like a warehouse area of the medical wing. This was probably where they stored different equipment they used. Next we see a section of this wing that has been catastrophically damaged. We also see a section with the Poppy Playtime logo on the wall. And then another section of the area that has been damaged beyond recognition. And then finally, we see a section that looks like it could be actually some kind of set. It looks like there's a behind the scenes section and then the actual section of the set. Maybe this is where they kind of put some of the experiments to play, or maybe even kids. I don't really know, but that's what it looks like to me. And that's all the images that we see on the Steam page. Tell me, what did you think of the trailer and the new images on Steam? Do they make you excited? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And now that we've talked about Poppy Playtime Chapter 5, let's move on to Bendy the Cage. The trailer starts with a shot of a hallway in the Ink Realm, and then it cuts to this crazy, horrific looking resident of the realm. We see a glitchy shot of a Bendy cutout, and then we go back to the hallway. We then see somebody walking down the hallway with an axe. This is Henry. A camera moves to watch Henry, and then we see a sign that says the warden is watching. We see a bunch of quick shots of a TV showing a few different things, such as an eye, and then it cuts back to the Bendy cutout. Then things start to go in reverse. We then cut to a hulking monstrosity in chains, and then we see another hallway with a strange machine showing an image of a skeleton and a hypnotic swirl at the end of the hall. Another disgusting looking ink creature is seen, and then we pan up to our main character, Henry. Except he is wearing this strange helmet on his head. The helmet then lights up and the logo appears, and it looks like we'll be fighting the madness very soon. This trailer looks incredibly dark and I love it. The monsters look creepy, and I think the psychological horror elements are really going to shine in this game. The game takes place during Bendy in the Dark Revival, and here's a brief description. Condemned to the Keeper prison known as the Pit, Henry must survive the horrific inmates and mangled experiments set loose to devour him. A labyrinth of steel industrial dread lay before him as his mind is invaded by the past. This game is going to be very dark, and I hope very epic. And I'm thinking there may be even a little bit of time manipulation, at least kind of maybe going back in time a little bit. Otherwise, why would we see the shot of him walking backwards due to being rewound? Either ways, this is going to be a good one. Well, there you go. Bendy the Cage is alive and well, and my gosh, is it looking really, really good. Personally, I am very happy that it's diving deep into the psychological horror for this game. But tell me, what did you think of the trailer? Are you excited about it? And how scary do you think it'll be? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Speaking of the comments, let's have a little war down there. Tell me in the comments what you are most excited for. Is it Bendy the Cage? Poppy Playtime Chapter 5? Or I Made It the Adventure 3. Let me know which one you think will be the best down there, and make sure you let others know your opinion too. My name is HulkingEnigma, and this has been Well That's Horrifying.